Oh. Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. We are back with another fighter Q&A, and today we are joined by Adrian Yanez, who has a professional record of 16 wins and 3 losses. He's currently 5-0 in the UFC, and he trains out of Metro Fight Club in Houston, Texas. The last 5 fights he's had, the first 5 fights in the organization, he's got bonuses in every single one. Adrian, how are you doing, my man?
Man, I'm doing great. Loving living life, man. Thank y'all for having me on. It's going to be pretty dope.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's so exciting to have you on. Literally, I've been wanting
we've been wanting this for ages,
some time.
Honestly.
It was like, especially, maybe it might have been the 3rd fight in. It must have been at least the 3rd fight. At some point last year, we were like, yeah, that's the guy we got to get on at some point. And now we finally made it happen. Thanks for coming on, of course. What's basically going to do? We got a few questions for you. Just a couple about some recent things. We'll hopefully get some questions from some people in the chat, and then lastly, we've got a fun game for you. Okay, which is the first time we're going to be doing this game. Okay, no one else has had the privilege of doing it. Yeah. We do a game every single time, and it's going to be called Against the Clock UFC Trivia. So we got 15 questions. You're going to answer them as quick as possible. But for every question you get wrong, we're going to add 3 seconds to the clock. So, man, it's going to be exciting.
No, you'll smash it. You'll smash it. Yeah. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little bit later, though.
Yeah. So I guess we should kickstart things off then. And after your recent first-round TKO win against Tony Kelley, you moved into the top 15 of the Bantamweight division. But it was only for 7 days, and a certain undefeated prospect called Umar Nurmagomedov stole your spot. You received lots of praise from making the rankings, but what was your reaction when finding out that your place had been taken?
Man, I honestly, my honest reaction was just like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. Like every interview or every spot that I've had the chance to talk about the rankings in general, I always said, look, for me to get in the top 15, I'm going to have to knock somebody out the top 15. I'm going to have to take that 15 spot. I'm going to have to knock somebody out. Like, I'm going to have to knock somebody out. And unfortunately, it was Rafael Sansa, and I took his spot. And what ended up happening was I already knew, like, man, look, plus, if I get that top 15, it's going to, I won't hold it for long. Like, especially depending on how long, if I don't fight till October, I'm gonna get knocked out the rankings anyways. Like, so I'm just like, I already knew that this was gonna happen anyways. But luckily, I'm back in the top 15, but with asterisks behind it because me and Umar are tied for 15. And I'm just like, this is the weirdest thing in the world because I think right after, like, whenever I was on the rampage, like, I already knew this was gonna happen. Like, so like I don't feel bad about this, and plus, like, it doesn't force me to fight somebody ranked right now. I can fight out my contract, get a bigger contract, fight those bigger names and stuff. So I didn't mind it. Then next, this past week, after everything happened, like the UFC happened and International Fight Week, I get put in the back into the top 15, 15A, 15B. Me and Umar tied for that spot, and I'm just like, this is weird because I don't think in any other division you have people who are ranked and tied at that ranking. I think the only rankings that you'll be tied with is interim champ and champ, but I don't even think those are like tied. You got the champ and then you got the interim champ, so it's like you're pretty much that contender, like number 1 spot. So I don't know. I found it very, very weird.
Yeah.
Like, I was out by the rankings. I think they were just like they saw that I talked about it a little bit, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we kind of fucked up."
Yeah, Khabib's behind it, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
Khabib's behind it.
Umar's undefeated, but look, I'd make an argument for your case. You've had 5 bonuses in a row now. You know, like, surely you should be above.
Khabib's definitely behind it. He's definitely behind it.
Khabib was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, he's speaking to Dana.
I can't let that little Mexican take that spot.
He took Dana out for dinner, didn't he? That's why.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Yeah. But then also too, I look at the rankings and I see a couple people that shouldn't be there, So like, like there's a couple guys who are like who are 1-3 or 1-4 in the last couple fights. I'm just like, do they deserve that ranking spot just because they have a name? You know, doesn't mean that they deserve that spot. You know, so I'm 5-0 in my last 5 fights, 4 knockouts, and also a fight of the night against a fucking phenomenal fighter in Davey Grant. So I look at that, it's like, hey, like I think I deserve a 15 spot. And, you know, me and Umar we shouldn't be tied for 15 A and B. It should be either 14 or 15. You know, give or take, whoever. You know, whatever the media, since the media controls the rankings. It should be, you know, whoever they believe deserves the 14 and 15, you know. So, but I'm not going to complain because I got my spot, even if it does have the asterisk.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, you got, like you said, with the likes of Sanso was in there, it hasn't been as active as of recent. You would have thought that perhaps he would get taken out. But I think people only get taken out if they've turned down, was it like 3 fights in a row, perhaps? In like a space of a year, something like that.
Shoot, man, I had no idea how those rankings work. I just know that it's like it's just a bunch of media guys that come together and just like put their votes in, and I'm like, all right, okay, I get it.
I'm gonna throw a name at you. Do you reckon that you could be talking about someone like Frankie Edgar, maybe?
Oh yeah, Frankie Edgar too. Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's taken a long time from being active. Yeah. He has like fights from like he doesn't fight for like about 8 months and finally gets a fight.
So true.
And then like he loses the fight, you know, and and he's also like hasn't had the best of runs, but I'm just like, does he deserve that top spot right there? Does he deserve that 11th or 12th ranking? You know, kind of, you know, so it's like kind of. I was like, much respect. Like again, much respect. I love what he's done in the sport.
100%, yeah.
But like it kind of goes back, like, you know, does he deserve the actual spot? If we're going by what we're like, if the rankings are literally changing every Tuesday, they update. Like, and there's a lot of killers who are.
It's true. It's true. You're spot on.
Myself, you got Kyler Phillips, and you got a lot of these guys, coming up. You know, shit, like, do they deserve to be in the rankings? So that's the only part I have a quarrel with. Yeah. But at the same time, for someone like me looking at that, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna look for somebody in the top 15 that I know is gonna get paid, also have a really good resume put a good name on my resume, and then Frankie Edgar's that guy. And if I go out there, knock him out.
Don't say that, please.
We got a big Frankie Edgar fan over here.
It would boost up my pace so much. Boost up my pace so much. Then also, it like on my resume, I took out the lightweight.
Yeah, that's right. No, you're not wrong. Obviously, he's 1-3, I think, in a bantamweight, right? Because he beat Pedro, then he got knocked out by Corey Sandhagen and Marlon Vera. To be fair, he was doing okay in the Marlon Vera fight until he got.
Yeah, caught. He was doing no. I say this all the time. He was winning till he wasn't.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 100%.
He was winning till he wasn't. So
it is what it is.
You know, like, so again, like, so much mad respect for Frankie. Yeah. Got mad love for him. I was watching him while I was still in high school.
Yeah,
so you know
same here.
Yeah.
Same here,
legend. It's good to see his run. But let's go back then on to Umar and some other names that you potentially could throw out there. Now, Umar recently defeated our friend Nate Maness, who's been on the channel before, of course, who has been, and he's been on your hit list now for quite some time. Is that fight likely going to materialize at any point, or are your eyes set on sort of a top 15 opponent next?
Man, I don't know. Like, here's the thing: is that I don't know what's gonna be in store, because this bantamweight division is kind of always like, it's always teeter-tottering so much. It's like a fucking like it's like a teeter-totter that has like fucking like adjusting weight, so it's going fucking nuts. So it's like it's kind of hard to like pinpoint who's gonna get the next shot, who's next up for me. Like, because I was trying to fight in May, end of April, May. And, you know, that didn't materialize. I've been calling for a fight since February. And pretty much, like I don't know what happened. And I wanted to fight forward. That's why I was like, I was really pushing hard for the Nate Maness fight, because he has a really good record. He's a banger. And I felt like that would have been a great fight for both of us. Pushed us both ahead in our careers, depending on how the fight went. And next thing you know, legitimately the day that I signed to fight Tony Kelley was the day that I found out that that Nate Maness that same exact day signed to fight Umar. So wow. I was like, all right, okay, this is cool. Because he wasn't booked, I wasn't booked. I remember I was like, well, talk to my manager, be like, hey, what about Nate? Like, I think that would be like a great fight. And next thing you know, same day I'm booked to fight Tony. I find out Nate's fighting Umar. So I was like, all right, well, I don't mind take like that's probably the only reason why I accepted the fight with Tony Kelley. Oh, wow. Because I was like starting to be like there's no names being thrown my way, and I was like, well, Tony, might as well. I was like, might as well. Like, of course, like that was like I'll go from fighting Davey Grant, who's way up here, to fighting Tony Kelley, who's way at the back of the line. So again, that's the only reason. But it just depends on how everything pans out. Like, of course, I would still love to get that Nate fight just because he called me out first. Yeah. Had to reciprocate the call out, and then after that, it's just kind of just all up in the air. Umar kind of ruined my call out. So I'm like, man, I can't call out the guy that just lost. Damn, that sucks. It looks like I'm kicking the guy while he's down. So, a lot of nuances.
Yeah, I mean, but talking to Nate, he was definitely keen on getting that fight with you, and I guess that in a way, it was just kind of down to the manager's side of things. But in my opinion, I think, I mean, look, there's no disrespect to our boy Nate. We love watching him fight. I think you're in a position to aim a lot higher. That's my opinion.
Yeah, 100% agree. And as well, I'm very surprised you took the Umar fight stylistically. Obviously, he likes to stand and bang. You like to stand and bang. I'm surprised you accepted that.
It wasn't a great fight for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. Like, my manager instantly called me and was like, I don't know who Nate Maness pissed off.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's crazy.
I don't know who Nate Maness pissed off. But, man, like, I applaud. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I applaud him for taking a fight like that. Stylistically, not a great fight. So I was like, I applaud that guy. Got mad respect. He took it. So I had 5 weeks to train for Tony. Like, I had only a 5-week camp. He had a 6-week camp. And usually fighters nowadays are getting 2 months to 3 months, at possible 4 months at times, to get ready for the kind of fights. And he pretty much almost took it like a short notice type of fight, So, hey, man, so I got respect for that, especially fighting a killer like Umar. So, not a lot of guys take that on a 5 to 6 week training camp,
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's move on then. I want to get your opinions on this, right? This kind of it's a really good question. I think you did a lot of preparation for the Kelley fight with the champion Aljamain Sterling, and top competitor Merab Dvalishvili. Was there anything that surprised you about how those guys train, and did you manage to learn a lot in the process?
Man, I learned a lot. Like, honestly, like when it came to Aljamain, it's just like training with him. It's kind of just like not take myself too seriously, because like I would just like instantly in a camp, I'd be immediately just like super hyper. Like, of course, I'm be hyper focused either way, but like I would just take it so seriously where everything was super strict. I would have no fun, no nothing, and all that stuff, and everything's just like pure fight. But man, like Aljo, like kind of seeing how he was training, and he'd be like, he's still taking everything very, very seriously. Work ethic really high up there. But he just would be like, nah, man, I'm gonna have fun while I'm doing this, So it's like that changed my perspective on a lot. So I was like, that was pretty dope. Yeah. And then also too, training with Merab, it was super cool because, like, man, like he's such the nicest guy outside of fighting that, like, in fighting, he has that switch. So I was like, that also too is kind of like, dude, I like that. I like fighter, like, and like the intensity that he keeps and has, like, I'm trying to match that. So that was pretty cool. Like, just learning, having that intensity, being able to like go and all that stuff. Like, and their work ethic, man, they're one of the hardest workers in like the UFC, man. They work fucking hard. So, and also it's not even just in fighting either, man. Like they were really big into talking to me into like like investing my money and like saying nothing but good things and trying to be like, no, you got to have a fight for after fighting, all that stuff. You know, it's pretty cool, man. I love them both, man. Like I got mad love for both of them, man. So yeah, like if Rob were to call me today and be like, hey, I need your help with for Jose Aldo, I'm there.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good.
If Aljamain were to call me and be like, hey, I need your help for TJ Dillashaw, man, I'm there. So 100%. Like,
yeah,
they just know I'm call away.
Yeah, I was just about to get into. Did you manage to grapple at all with Merab? He's a beast, isn't he?
Yeah, they're fucking beasts. Yeah. No, they're all beasts.
The guy's an animal.
Dude, all those guys are beasts, man. Like I say like this, like I want to go back specifically just for the grappling.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm one of the best strikers out there. I'm one of the best strikers out there, and like kind of like and shoot, even Aljo was saying it himself, like I'm a better striker than like some guy in the gym. I don't know if he was just janking my chain or whatever, but some guy in the gym was like, man, like who you want to fight next, Aljo? And like after period gone, and he's like, they were talking about like guys with kickboxing and like stand up and all that department. Like, bro, like you got the guy with the best stand up right here in the Bantamweight division. Point at me. Like, oh shit, that's some high praise. That's some high praise from the champ. So like, hey, you know, if he's saying it, then you know, but I look at all these guys too, man. I'm just seeing like I do believe I got the best stand up in the division. A lot of these guys are gonna be tough, but you know, I feel like I got the best. I got really good vision. I have really good reaction.
I'm the best boxer in UFC. Yeah, you do have great striking.
Yeah, that's crass. Yeah, and which kind of leads me on to another thing, which I'm going to ask you a little bit in just a sec. But first up, now you received such a warm welcome from the Austin crowd when you walked out to face Tony Kelley. Is your heart set on always fighting in Texas, or would you like to fight elsewhere? Now, please say London.
No, man. Man, if they were to ask me where I would want to fight, I would definitely always say Texas for sure. Like I said in so many interviews. Like if they have a fight in Dallas, I'm gonna fight in Dallas. If they have a fight in El Paso, I'll fight in El Paso, San Antonio, like everywhere. Like I'd be like 100% I want to fight in Texas. In Houston, I'd want to fight in Texas. But I was like, the only other places I would want to fight is definitely Vegas, Texas, Florida. I don't want to go to New York because of state taxes. Yeah. But like, hey, look, I've been getting a lot of love from London, so like, yeah, of course, I would.
Yeah. All right, okay. Yeah. I'll strike you a deal. If you come to London, I'll show you the sights. But in return, you got to show me how to get those slick hands. That's all I need. That's all I ask for.
All right. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. It just takes years of work.
Yeah. Oh, we can trim it down to 1 hour. It's fine. All right. That's some cracking stuff, Adrian. We're gonna move on to some fan questions now. We've got a few in the chat. Yes. Ash, do you want to take it away? What we got?
Welcome in everyone that's there. Let's have a little look. So we'll jump on to which one we got here. Jump onto Fight Game 247. Welcome in, Tommy. He says, who is the best unknown sparring partner that you have ever trained with? Someone a lot of fans don't know that is someone coming up.
Ooh, good question.
The best unknown sparring partner I sparred. Does it have to be like in general, or like does it have to be like just sparring well, you know what? I just answered straight up. Yeah. Like one of the best guys who's probably genuinely unknown. He's actually in my corner a lot. Cameron Smotherman. He's definitely one of my best training partners. Like he's only been in the game for like about maybe 3-4 years. And dude, I seen him beat up some UFC fighters, and it made it easy. Like he's one of my toughest sparring partners. Like he's also one of those guys that just like he's working his way up to get to the UFC, but he is a deadly counter striker. And he has hands, and he knows how to place it. And he's getting good with his wrestling. He's getting better every single day. Like he's my main sparring partner. But yeah, like I get to go with him all the time, so I get high level looks all the time. And even though he's not at the UFC level, he can definitely put a lot of UFC guys out for sure.
Ooh, interesting. All right, so this one is from Uncle C33, and he wants to know who do you credit for installing that characteristic in you, a parent or a coach? Ooh, good one.
My characteristic, as in like me just like being who I am, or just like me and fighting.
Yeah, you as a fighter. I think that's what it means.
You as a fighter. Yeah.
Me as a fighter. Honestly, I used to get like, well, my dad was always a boxer. Was a boxer growing up, so it was like it's kind of easy for me to get into combat sports and all that stuff. And then also my coach kind of stuff. So it's like kind of both.
Okay.
Like both my parents and then also like my coach. Like my parents kind of taught me never make a brash decision, like on being angry or like an emotional reaction. You know, always be cool, calm, and collected. And my coach just kind of harnessed that and just like moved it into like me being a fighter, and also like telling me that in Thailand and these Thai fighters, they show no expression and like you know, and obviously my dad's favorite fighters, you know, like someone like a Manny Pacquiao be so nice outside the ring, but then in the ring he's just a ferocious little animal. So I always admired that. So yeah, it's both. It was definitely both. I got the mixture of both because my coach was also that type of guy. My dad was also that type of guy. So
yeah, love that. Next question is for Navin GK. He goes, have you got your sights set on Pedro Munoz or Sean O'Malley after their no contest?
Ooh, which one?
Because they're probably unlikely to do a rematch.
Hopefully not.
If they do a rematch, I'm definitely going to keep my eyes on them. As of right now, I'm not even sure what route they're going to take. I would hope one of them. I wouldn't mind going Pedro than Sean, because I feel for myself it would put me in a better position for contract wise. So whenever I start speaking like fighter wise. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna fight everywhere. But I had to take a step back now because like I'm trying to make the most money so I can set myself after fighting. It would be better for me to fight Pedro and then fight Sean O'Malley. Yeah. That would be better. Okay. But that's the perfect world. In a non-perfect world, it would probably be Sean O'Malley next because he's the guy who's going to be clamoring the hardest, the loudest, you know. So he's already named 2 podcasts after me. So he's already named 2 podcast episodes after me. So like it's super easy for me to be like, yeah, no, I'll fucking fight that guy right the fuck now. Fuck it.
And he brings the most eyes in, so why not?
That's true.
But yeah, no, I love both those fights, man. There wasn't a lot shown, but there was a lot I could take from that.
Yeah, true. Sure. Yeah, 100%, mate.
Now, this next one's a really interesting one. Do you want to get this one, Ash?
You go.
Okay, all right. This one's from Angus Jenkins, and he asks, would you rather fight 1 Aljamain Sterling-sized duck or 50 duck-sized Aljamain Sterlings?
You know what? Just because, like, you know what, man? That would be... It's like having... Man, it's like having a squirrel on the, like if you have like a little Aljamain Sterling sized duck, I just picture a squirrel that's going to be climbing all over you and all that stuff, just like going nuts and crazy. That is kind of scary. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Like it kind of reminds me of like The Boys right now, like with the thermite where he's just throwing. All right, so if he gets that small, does his power increase like Ant-Man and all that stuff? Or is he just
That's true. It's a good point, actually. There's some fine lines between that question.
There's caveats to this, man. There's definitely caveats to this. And also, 50 size ducks that are Aljamain Sterling size. Is it weight cut Aljo, or is it like
if he's beast Aljo? Crazy. Yeah. When you just quickly before we get to another question, when you trained with him, was he? How big was he? Because obviously everyone's calling him a buddy. The size of it, like, was he big?
Man, there was some mornings where he would wake up and his weight fluctuates so like way much more than mine does.
Wow.
I only like fluctuate maybe like about 4 pounds, give or take, depending on what type of day I'm having. Yeah. But his weight will fluctuate and be like, oh, I'm 159 a day, and then tomorrow morning he would wake up like at 160. What the fuck? Like, I remember him waking up at like 168 one day, and this was like about probably like 4 weeks out whenever I was with him. And pretty much like we went to go get Jamaican food that same day. Like he stacked his plate, and I'm like, I was like, hey, look, I'm not your nutritionist, bro, but I'm just saying. And then he bought like a little beef patty, which is a beef patty, and like saved it for later. But woke up, he was at 168, and I was like, look, I'm not your nutritionist, but Aljo, we got something. Something's got to happen.
Love that. That's quality.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You think that comes from the champion, like you think he'd be like proper strict on everything he does and keep everything to a sweet science, but
yeah, not towards the end. Once it comes like towards the end, it's super strict.
I was gonna say, what I'm guessing once he gets in the gym, is a beast there. So that's probably
comes off.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah, comes off. Right. So next question is from Jed Leon. He says that he wrote an article on you on MMA.uk, and he wrote that you were the future of the UFC. But his question to you is, what do you think makes you different from the other fighters, and why do you stand out?
Ooh, good one.
Ooh, it's a good question.
Man, honestly, I'm just like kind of more of like a quiet guy that like if you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are trying to put on a persona, and I'm just being myself. And then also too, man, like. There's a lot of times where I could have quit, or I could have quit. I've had two broken jaws, like four surgeries that honestly, like I had doctors telling me I shouldn't be fighting or anything like that. A lot of fighters really took that. They're like, I can't fight anymore and all that stuff. But I continue to drive and continue to fight. And then also too, just even with all the stuff that's gone on in my life, like losing my dad, and then also later on losing my coach who brought me up into this game. Like losing those guys, you see a lot of people just start falling off and giving up. And man, I'm still here, still pushing, man.
I love that.
Look at someone like I can bring you an example, man. People like Mark. Yeah, I respect him for what he's done, but like someone like Mark Hominick, went into his fight right after he lost his coach and just like fought with emotion, got knocked out by Korean Zombie. There's a lot of these guys that ends up happening to like that. Like I never wanted to become one of them, and I just kept my mind strong. Worked on my mind and just consistently always pushed. And I'm just never gonna let anything kind of stop me from doing what I want to do in life. So take it as energy, use it as motivation. Have a great output.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a spot on mindset really to have.
Love it.
Yeah, for sure. We got one more?
Yeah, last question, and then we're getting to the game for you. So last question is from Damian Collins. Welcome in, mate. He says, who do you think in the top 15 is going to be your toughest test, stylistic-wise?
Stylistically wise. So it would probably, stylistically wise, like my style is a striking style, of course, so stylistically it would have to be a wrestler, of course, but stylistically in like if we're going to break it down striker versus striker, it would probably be someone like Peter Yan.
Oh yeah.
Peter Yan, stylistically coming from a striking standpoint.
Yeah.
MMA standpoint, of course, is going to be someone who's more of like a wrestler. Man, there's a lot of guys up there right now. I would probably say, just because like I've actually trained with them, Mirage type of style. He's like that forward compression. He'll take you down just to let you back up and take you back down.
Just the way you
are. Just a toy with you.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun going at that pace. I absolutely love that pace that he pushes. Like after the first round, he was like, "You're tired now, good." And I was like, "I'm not tired." Look, I was like, "Yeah, look." He's like,
"God, man."
He's like
crazy.
I like.
That'd be demoralizing. Like
soldier story, I bet.
Yeah.
I love it, and I absolutely love it. I love it. So like, but yeah, like honestly, there's like a lot of these wrestlers, high level wrestlers. If you never like wrestled or like grappled at the extreme high level, you're gonna have a problem with me because I'm the anti-wrestler. I'm trying to do everything I can to keep it standing. And if you never wrestled, like even like high level wrestlers like Miles Johns, he and before he even got signed to the UFC, we fought. The only thing he could do was just hold me on the fence. He took me down a couple times, but I immediately popped back up like probably like 3-4 seconds. There was like no stalemate on, like he couldn't pass my guard, couldn't do anything, just pop right back up. So stylistically, it's gonna be the guys that can hold me on the fence.
Okay, solid stuff. Solid question.
Thank you for the questions.
Yeah.
If we have time at the end, we will get back to any questions.
Yeah,
so don't worry.
but time's running away from us, guys. So thank you so much for your questions. We've had some banging ones so far, but we're gonna have to move on for the game onto the game now. And for those who've joined us throughout this stream, we'll explain what the game is. We've already explained it to Adrian. So basically, this is against the clock UFC trivia. Okay, we're gonna ask Adrian 15 quick questions. And he's going to answer them as quick as possible. But every question he gets wrong, we're going to add 3 seconds onto the timer. So, Adrian, how confident are you feeling?
Man, I'm there.
All right, okay. He's pretty much ready to go. We just got to make sure that we're pretty much on time and we sync these timers up ready, so people guys at home can see the timer rolling, and then we, of course, can keep a track of what time you've got. So, Sai's going to give us the clock. Sai's going to let us know when to start, and then I'll start. All right? Okay.
Let us know, buddy.
Okay, brace yourself.
Let's go.
And we're off. Okay, who's the president of the UFC?
Is it Hunter Campbell?
No.
Not Dana White.
Okay. In which year was the UFC first event?
1993, November 15th.
In which fighter did Conor say, "I'll wrestle my balls on your forehead" to?
Chad Mendes.
Nice. In jiu-jitsu, which guard position shares the name with an insect with wings?
Butterfly.
How many title defenses did Khabib have?
I would say 2.
In which fighter took his shorts off and said, "My balls are hot"?
Oh, Derek Lewis.
In the gym, which long object suspended from the ceiling do you hit?
Heavy bag.
Which fighter had the horrendous nickname Sexual Chocolate?
Sexual chocolate. Fuck. You know what? I'm going to say John Jones.
Oh, yes.
Which discipline combines elements of dance, acrobatics, and music?
Fuck. Eddie Law does this. No, not Eddie Law. Second guy fucking does this. Fuck. Damn. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Comedy dancer.
I don't know. Fucking. I have it. It's right there.
Begins with C.
Couple of
yes. This sex position 69 is also a jiu-jitsu position called
North South.
Yes.
There we go.
Who was the first women's strawweight champion?
First women's strawweight champion, Carlos Mars.
Which fighter has the nickname the Nigerian Nightmare?
Kamaru Usman.
Which fighter gets called Gyno Tit?
I know. Oh, is he?
In an interview, which fighter said the line, "Nate can't even count to 5"?
Nate can't even count to 5. I'd say, you know what? I'm gonna say Connor.
Mm-hmm.
In a post-fight interview, which fighter said, "You better win your next fight because I'm coming on your ass"?
That was definitely Aljo.
Yeah.
And stop. That's it. We stopped the timer. Okay, Sai, pass it over to me. Your time was. Oh yeah, how many wrong did we get, Ash?
1.
One wrong in total.
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, is it 2?
You were meant to count.
Yeah, no, it was 2 then.
2.
It was the Khabib one, and there was one at the top.
Okay, so -6 off of this. What is it? I can't. Do you math? Do you math? I don't math. 15. So okay, your total time was 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
All right.
Not bad, right? Not bad for first go.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. There's only 2 that they got wrong. Khabib's title defense. I think that might have been 1, right?
3. Yeah, but this is the thing. You're under pressure, though, aren't you? So it's
hard to.
Yeah. Like that.
No, you smashed it, honestly.
What's the other one I got wrong?
It was, if you scroll up, let's go to the top.
Which one?
I know. Yeah, surely it was only wrong. Scroll down again.
Are you sure? Right, you said Chad Mendes right. Butterfly was right. Derek Lewis was right. Punch bag. It was only one. Oh, you muppet.
So we'll add 3 seconds on. So 5, 6, 8. So 218 then.
Okay, 218 then. All right, so that's still good. That's still not too bad.
My fault.
Hopefully we'll collect up some more scores from fighters. And smack a like on the video, guys, if you enjoyed that game. This was the first time playing it. So, Adrian, you was amazing at it. And look, man, all the best to you. Hopefully we see you in London at some point. Down the road, fingers crossed. You know, they might do some Q&As, they might fly you out. But if you fly out, I'm looking forward to, you know, sharpening up these tools. You know.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
we'll have to do the game next time. We'll have you side by side with Nate Munoz.
With Nate Munoz, imagine that.
You know what? Let me see if they'll take me to London.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, any restaurant you want, we'll figure it out.
All right, cool. I'm down.
All right, appreciate you hanging out with us, Adrian. Sorry, what? Stay for 2 minutes. Can we get you just 2 minutes of your time after the stream? We'll say goodbye to everyone, and we're just going to get a few picks from you for the next pay-per-view.
We're just going to say bye to everyone, but then we'll get back to you.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys. Your questions were amazing. Don't forget to hit a like on the video, of course, as well, and hit that subscribe button. Do stay tuned with everything that we've got coming up here on ATF. See you next time, guys. Oh.